What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you could call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954 70th Anniversary Special Version. This version of Godzilla was revealed in celebration for Godzilla's 70th anniversary, same mold but colored to look like the poster, and comes with the accessories as well. Planes, a beam effect, and a 70th anniversary display base, but the price is not exactly good. The figure costs $130. Wow, and this is a regular release too, not a web exclusive. The black and white figure back then came with no accessories and was $80, so what happened with the price here besides the accessories? When the figure was released, the general consensus was that the figure is pretty good. Collectors enjoyed this figure for the novelty and the accessories. There's plenty of display options to be had. Like I said, same mold and articulation, but different paint and accessories. Will this figure be worth picking up, even if you have the original black and white figure? Will this be worth it for the novelty, or is this a cash grab? Well, let's see if this figure is worth adding to your Godzilla shelf. So the sculpt is not one-to-one with the suit. Too much of the Yuji Sakai stylization is here even for this. Not a bad sculpt, it's just not accurate. The eyes are symmetrical, thank God. I don't know what is so difficult for the community to understand that the eyes should look like this. As I've said, the sculpt is not accurate, but it's not bad. There's plenty of intricate details to make this pop on the shelf. It looks really nice. I especially love the sculpt of the dorsal plates. They look killer. Very pristine, rocky, rough sculpt on each plate. Looks pretty good. I've held it off a little bit, but no more. I love the colors on this figure. It looks really good. The brownish color blending and the shading look very good. I love the color of the nails and the dorsal plates too. A very nice deep bone yellow. Contrasts nicely from the brown. Looks like the poster. One thing I can definitely appreciate from the sculpt is that it looks baggy to represent better how the suit looks on screen, because these were old rubber suits after all. It makes sense to see creases and folds all over the body to match that look, if anyone really cares about that sort of thing. The teeth and the mouth are cleanly painted with no slop at all. Paint job is clean, and looks really good. I'm genuinely impressed with this. It looks awesome. Is this the best looking Godzilla MonsterArts? No, but I do think it's high up there. It really looks nice. Overall, I think Godzilla looks really good color-wise. Sculpt, your enjoyment may vary, but I still think it looks fine.
My old video reviewing the original release is old, outdated, it's just not good, so I will go over articulation again for all of you. Head right here and here and here on ball joints, so he can look this far down, and he can, well, he can't really look up because of the way his eyes are, but his head can go up just about this high. Can look side to side with no problem. Plenty of wiggle. The jaw is on a ball joint and can open this far wide. Arms are on ball joints. Can go out just about this far. There's a bit of a bicep swivel in the shoulder, and also in the elbow a little bit. But the elbows can go pretty good amount. I'd say that's just a little bit over 90 degrees. Yeah, it's a little bit over 90 degrees. Hands are on ball joints. Ball joint here and here in the waist so he can crunch. Ah, great. Yeah, mine has a QC issue where it doesn't really stay in there all the way, but either way, he can crunch forward. I believe that's how far forward he could go. And backward. Oh, darn it. Okay. And backward, he could go this far back with no issue. And of course, we do have, if it could stop popping off, we do have wiggle room. It's not as much wiggle room as other Godzilla figures, but it's there. Legs can kick forward, just about this far forward, backward, about this far back. This far back. Can he do the splits? Yeah, he can pretty much do the splits. Knees are on ball joints. The ankles are also on ball joints, but the knees can bend this far. And ankles being on ball joints, he can hinge his ankles this far back, this far forward. And of course, we have plenty of ankle rocker. Tail is super fun. Many series of ball joints. And can have a bunch of curves. I said in my original review, I believe I said in my original review of the black and white figure, that this is one of the best MonsterArts tails. Hands down. It really is superb. So Godzilla packs a pretty good amount of articulation. I'd say the one thing that can use improvement is shoulders, because he can't really go up without rubbing against a sculpt. So I'd say that can use improvements. This one is fine. It doesn't really rub up again that much, but this one is a little bit tight. Maybe it's something to do with the figure. Maybe I need to pop something out and re-pop it back in to fix it. I don't know. But either way, Goji packs a lot of articulation. So if you need him in a pose, you can get one with no problem. Now let's go over accessories, because he doesn't have a lot. We have this 70th anniversary display base, which looks really nice. This looks really nice. So you can put them on top of the display base. Looks pretty cool. We have 2 alternate hands. One of them is more so meant to grip the plane. The other one, I'm not sure what that's for. We get 2 of these planes. They're pretty plain and kind of cheap looking, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm not really exactly a big fan of these. I mean, they do the job, but it's like, I don't know, I think you could have given them maybe a little bit more color. Anyway, here's how he grips the planes. I'm not going to show you how to pop on and off the hand joints, because they're actually kind of hard to interchange on this figure, so use heat if you have to. Now, we do have this small little nub here. We do have this little nub here that is meant to hold one of the planes, because there's a peg hole on the bottom. But we need a Tamashii stage. And we do get one. We have an Act 4 base and an Act 4 arm. Cool. But Goji comes with a heat ray. A colored heat ray, because, you know, this is the poster Goji, so you want to make sure you can match the poster. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I do really like the look of this heat ray. I think it looks really nice. That's all fine and dandy. That's pretty cool. But I do have one issue. And it's an issue that plagued a figure I reviewed recently. There's only one arm. We got 2 bases, but we don't have a second arm for the beam or the other plane. I mean, granted, you to display both planes, you can have Goji hold one of them and display the other plane, you know, looking like it's flying, and the post and the beam has no arm, even though Goji shoots the beam down, which you can do easily here. It's just that, what is so difficult about including another arm? What is so difficult about that? I don't understand. Why can't we get another arm? Like, seriously. So I do like his accessories. I think the planes are cheap looking, not gonna lie, but they do get the job done, and I do love the look of the beam. I'm glad we have a beam, and I do love the novelty of the display base. So yeah, that looks all neat. I just wish he, you know, just I don't understand why he doesn't have an extra arm. Like, come on, we're already paying $130 for this. We could have gotten an extra arm. Like, seriously.
Here's a size comparison with other figures you may or may not own. Godzilla is a standard size Godzilla MonsterArts, so he scales okay with other monsters. But remember, he had no monster opponent in the movie, so if you're displaying him, it may be by himself. Where do I begin? I think this figure is great. Definitely one of the best figures in the line. There's so much going for it. It's fantastic. The paint, the articulation, the accessories. The only one true negative I have is that price, $130. I still think that's much even with the accessories. I sound like a broken record, but that's something I can't help. That's ridiculous, but still, it's a good figure in its own right. And you know what? I don't feel completely ripped off by that price either. I do think this Godzilla deserves a spot on your shelf, if you don't mind the price. If it does bother you, then I would get it for sale. But if you don't mind it, and are a diehard fan of Godzilla, I highly recommend this figure to you. It's a nice one. I would get it even if you have the original black and white release. This is a good figure to have in color. I'll give him an excellent 9 out of 10. Looks good, lots of display and fun factor. I'd say this figure is one of the best in the line for sure.